Rise and claim it. Rise and claim it. Rise and claim it. My friends, today we gather for more than a speech. This is not a lecture, not a routine, not another moment of information that slips through our fingers. No, no. This is a battle cry for the soul. This is a blueprint for victorious living. This is a call to rise above the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. Too many of us have treated the greatest truths of life like background noise. Words we repeat but never embody. Rituals we know but never apply. But I tell you today, what you're about to hear is not ritual, it's strategy. It's not recitation, it's revolution. It's not routine, it's revelation. There exists a timeless prayer, a universal invocation, a spiritual nap handed down through generations. Many know the words, few understand the power. This map was never meant to be chanted without thought. It was given as a battle plan, a divine strategy for the soul. Every phrase is a key. Every line is a weapon. Every word is a shield. And if you can receive it with an open heart, if you can grasp it with an awakened mind, you will never approach life the same way again. So today I invite you, lean in, open your spirit. This is not about religion. This is about alignment with the source of all power. This is not about belonging to one belief system. This is about recognizing the universal truth that breathes life into us all. And so, we begin where it begins. It starts with two simple words, our source. Not my source, not your source, but our source. These words are not small, they are a revolution in themselves. Because in a world that teaches us to fight for ourselves, to claim independence, to say, I don't need anyone, these words remind us that we are deeply connected, that we are family, that we are united. But the strength we draw upon is shared strength, a well that never runs dry. When you say, our source, you are declaring, I am not alone, I am not abandoned, I am not cut off, I belong to something infinite. Some of us grew up with fathers who failed us. Some of us had mothers who broke us. Some of us had leaders who neglected us, friends who betrayed us, family who misunderstood us. And so, the very word parent, the very idea of a provider, feels heavy. But hear this, the source we speak of today is not flawed like human beings. The source does not abandon. The source does not forget. The source does not favor one child and reject another. The source is constant, eternal, pure. So when we begin with our source, we are not whispering a polite opening line. We are grounding ourselves in the unshakable truth of belonging. Say it with me in your heart. I am not alone. I am connected to the source. Let that sink in, because if you start there, no battle can intimidate you. If you start there, no rejection can destroy you. If you start there, no rejection can destroy you. Every warrior needs to know who they fight for. Every traveler needs to know where they come from. Every soul needs to know its origin, our source. This is your origin story. You were not placed here by accident. You are not a random combination of cells. You are not here because the universe rolled dice and you just happened to appear. No. You are formed, shaped, called, connected. And because you are connected, you are not powerless. Your life is linked to a current of strength greater than anything you could ever generate on your own. Imagine a lamp unplugged, beautifully designed, capable of giving light, but powerless until it connects to the current. That's what many of us have been, unplugged, drained, running on battery life that keeps fading. But when you say, our source, You are plugging back into the current of creation. And once connected, you shine. Too many walk around with broken identities. They say, I am worthless, I am forgotten, I am unwanted. But hear me today. The source does not create junk. The source does not make mistakes. The source does not discard its own creation. When you say, our source, you reclaim your identity. You declare, I am more than what they called me. I am more than the failures behind me. I am connected to the infinite. Say it again. I am connected. Notice again, it does not begin with my source. It begins with our. That means this journey is not just personal. It's communal. It's not just about you rising. It's about all of us rising together. When you say our source, you are standing with the broken, the poor, the weary, the struggling, the rejected, and declaring, we are one. We rise together. Division is the oldest strategy of destruction. But unity? Unity is unstoppable. When we pray our source together, we are building an unbreakable chain. You cannot be defeated when you lock arms with those who draw from the same power. If the source is perfect, eternal, strong, then what does that make us? Children of strength, children of light, children of destiny. When a lion gives birth, it doesn't raise sheep, it raises lions. When an eagle lays eggs, it doesn't hatch chickens, it hatches eagles. And when the source gives life, it doesn't produce failures, it produces fighters, creators, overcomers. That means within you is greatness. Within you is resilience. Within you is divine DNA. Stop calling yourself weak when strength flows in your veins. Stop calling yourself lost when you are connected to infinite guidance. Stop calling yourself broken when you are a reflection of wholeness. Today, let us declare together, I am connected to the source. I am not alone. I am not powerless. I am part of a greater whole. I belong. This is where we begin, not in fear, not in doubt, not in separation, but in belonging, in identity, in power, our source, our beginning, our strength. And once you know who you belong to, once you know where you draw your power from, the rest of the battle plan begins to unfold. Now that we have rooted ourselves in our source, we move to the next profound truth, the sacredness of the name we call upon. Words have power. Names have energy. Every time you speak a name, you are not just using letters, you are summoning intention. Think about it. When someone calls your name with love, your heart responds. When someone calls your name with anger, your spirit reacts. When you call upon a force greater than yourself, do you feel the weight of those words? Many people pray, recite, or meditate with names they barely understand. They whisper the word but forget its force. They say it softly but never let it shape their lives. But the moment you understand the sacredness of the name, everything changes. The name you call upon represents power, purity, and alignment. It is not just a polite greeting. It is a code to unlock the strength within you. When you say it, your life must honor it. When you whisper it, your actions must reflect it. When you bow to it, your mind and heart must bend toward it. Ask yourself today, does my life honor the power I invoke? If you are calling on a force that brings order, love, and strength, but your life is chaos, bitterness, and fear, then you are speaking words empty of power. But if your actions, your choices, your heart, and your mind align with that higher order, every word becomes a weapon, every phrase a shield, every declaration a force of change. Say it with me. The power I invoke is sacred. The energy I call upon is holy. The source I honor is reflected in every action I take. Honor the name by living it. Act as if the source is watching. because it is. Step as if your life carries the weight of infinite power, because it does. Too often, people treat sacred words like casual conversation. They speak them softly, half-heartedly, without conviction, without action. But let me tell you something. Life responds to conviction. The universe bends to clarity. Strength flows to the bold. If you honor the name you call, your life will reflect that power. If you treat it lightly, the world will treat you lightly. This is the call, my friends. Speak with intention, act with purpose, live with power. Now, we move into one of the most important battles of life, the kingdom versus the world. Every day, we face a war. Not a war with others, but a war within ourselves. Two forces pull at us. Two currents challenge us. Two kingdoms compete for our loyalty. On one side, there is the kingdom, order, justice, purpose, alignment, higher vision. On the other side, there is the world, chaos, selfish ambition, distraction, fear, greed. Every choice you make, every thought you entertain, every action you take is a vote for one kingdom or the other. The world will always try to convince you that self-interest is power. The world will whisper that pleasure over discipline is freedom. The world will shout that fear is safety and control is success. But the kingdom calls differently. It calls to courage, not comfort. It calls to sacrifice, not indulgence. It calls to vision, not immediate gain. The true warrior recognizes this battle. The true warrior chooses daily. The true warrior refuses to let the chaos of the world dictate the strength of their spirit. Ask yourself today, which kingdom am I building in my life? Which currents am I feeding? Which forces am I surrendering to? And the kingdom. This is not just about morality. This is about power, effectiveness, and victory. Align with the kingdom, and your life flows with the energy of creation. Align with the world, and you are forever pulled into cycles of limitation and defeat. Every warrior has to make a choice: rise or remain passive. Every leader has to decide vision or distraction. Every soul has to declare purpose or chaos. You are not here to follow the currents of the world. You are not here to be swept away by fear or distraction. You are here to build the kingdom within you, and then project that kingdom into the world around you. Say it aloud. I choose alignment over chaos. I choose purpose over distraction. I choose the kingdom within, and I bring its power into my life. And here is the key truth. The kingdom is not found outside you. It is found inside you. Every act of courage, every decision of integrity, every choice of surrender to higher order builds the kingdom inside you. And that kingdom cannot be taken from you. And here is where many fail. They think surrender is weakness. They think giving up control means losing power. But the warrior knows surrender to the higher order is the ultimate strategy. Control what you can, release what you cannot, and let the infinite source guide the rest. This is how victories are won that last. This is how battles are fought without losing the soul. This is how the kingdom triumphs over the world, not with struggle alone, but with wisdom, alignment, and trust. Say it one more time. I surrender my small plans to the higher order. I trust the source to guide my steps. I align with the kingdom, and I rise victorious every day. Now we arrive at perhaps the most difficult, yet most freeing, part of this blueprint for life. Not my will, but the higher will. Listen closely. This is not easy. This is not soft. This is not for the faint of heart. Because every one of us carries within us a will, desires, ambitions, dreams, plans. We have our version of how life should go, We want the doors to open at our timing. We want the paths to clear in our direction. We want the universe to bend to our preference. But the truth? Life doesn't always unfold according to our script. And when it doesn't, we wrestle. We wrestle with disappointment. We wrestle with control. We wrestle with fear. The battle of will is one of the greatest battles of the human soul. We love control. We cling to it. We clutch it. We convince ourselves that if we just work harder, plan better, calculate more precisely, we can bend everything to our liking. But control is a fragile throne. It crumbles with a single phone call. It collapses with one unexpected storm. It shatters with the sudden twist of fate. And here's the truth. You were never meant to carry the burden of ultimate control. That weight will crush you. That throne will betray you. What you can control are your choices, your mindset, your actions in the moment. But the larger currents of life, they belong to a greater order. And so, the call is not to fight endlessly for control, but to surrender to alignment. When you cling to your own will, you may get what you want, but you may lose what you need. When you align with the higher will, you may not always get what you want, but you will always receive what strengthens you, what grows you, what transforms you. That is the mystery. That is the paradox. That is the power. Say it with me. Not my will, but alignment with the source. Not my timing, but the timing that perfects me. Not my plan, but the path that elevates me. Now hear this clearly. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender is strategy. Surrender is wisdom. Surrender is strength. Only the strong can lay down their will. Only the bold can release control. Only the free can trust the higher order. Weakness clings. Weakness panics. Weakness demands its own way. But strength knows, I can trust. I can release. I can rise above my fear. This is why surrender is not about giving up. It's about gaining clarity. It's not about losing. It's about aligning with victory already written. It's not about death. It's about life in its fullest power. But let's be honest. This surrender is a battle of ego, a battle of pride, a battle of fear. Inside us, a voice cries out, "But I know best. My way is right. My plan is perfect." And yet, how many times has your plan failed you? How many times did the thing you thought would save you nearly break you? How many times did the door you begged for end up leading you into darkness? And how many times, looking back, did the closed doors save you? How many times did the detours bring you to greater paths? How many times did life's no turn out to be the greatest yes of your journey? This is why we surrender, because what we want is not always what we need, and what we resist may be the very thing that saves us. A true warrior doesn't fight against a higher order. They fight with it. They don't resist the river. They flow with it. They don't demand the storm stop. They learn to ride the winds. That is the choice before you today. Will you keep forcing your will into places it doesn't belong? Or will you rise, release, and align with something greater? Declare it now. I release my grip. I surrender my fear. I trust the greater plan. Trust is not passive. Trust is not sitting back and doing nothing. Trust is active. Trust is daily. Trust is choosing alignment again and again. Every morning you wake up, you have two choices. Cling to fear or walk in trust. Force your will or align with wisdom. Resist what is or flow with what will be. Which will you choose? So let us declare together. I choose alignment over control. And I choose surrender over fear. I choose trust over doubt. I choose the higher will over my limited will. Say it until your spirit believes it. Say it until your fear bows down. Say it until your pride breaks. Because when you surrender, you are not losing power. You are gaining it. When you align, you are not giving up the fight. You are fighting smarter. When you trust, you are not falling behind. You are being lifted higher. Not my will, not my small vision, not my fragile plan, but the greater will, the greater vision, the greater plan. And in that surrender, my friends, there is victory. Now, my friends, we arrive at a truth that is simple, yet often overlooked. Life is not lived all at once. Victory is not won in a single leap. Strength is not summoned from thin air. We live one day at a time, one moment at a time, one choice at a time. And so comes the principle of daily bread, or as I like to call it, daily strength. Many of us walk through life carrying invisible backpacks stuffed with worries about tomorrow. We stress about what we do not yet have. We fret over what may never come. We plan endlessly, run tirelessly, exhaust ourselves, all in the hope that we can control the future. But here is the truth. The future is not yours to command. The past is not yours to rewrite. All you have, all you are guaranteed, is this day, this moment, this breath. And yet, most of us spend our energy on what we cannot hold and ignore what we can. Daily strength is the recognition that today is enough, that today's courage is sufficient, that today's focus is more powerful than a lifetime of worry. When we accept that life provides for the present moment, we are freed from anxiety. We no longer exhaust ourselves chasing illusions of total control. We begin to walk lightly, act boldly, and trust the unfolding of each day. Say it aloud. Today is enough. I have enough strength for today. I have enough clarity for today. Notice how your shoulders release tension. Notice how your heart begins to open. Notice how life flows when you stop trying to carry tomorrow on top of today. Daily bread is also a discipline. It is not simply a reminder to survive. It is a call to thrive. Each day, we must choose to nourish our mind with clarity, not distraction. To nourish our body with strength, not indulgence. To nourish our spirit with courage, not fear. Daily bread is a covenant with yourself. I will rise today. I will stand today. I will fight today. I will shine today. Even when yesterday left you broken. Even when tomorrow feels uncertain. Even when the weight of the world presses down on you. Today is yours. Today is enough. Today is victory in motion. One of the greatest liberations we can experience is releasing worry about the future. Ask yourself, how much of my energy is spent preparing for storms that may never come? How much of my courage is squandered on fear instead of action? When we trust in daily provision, we reclaim energy, we reclaim focus, we reclaim power. And here's the secret. The universe, the source, or life itself, whatever you call it, provides precisely what is needed in the moment we need it. Not a second earlier, not a second later. Right when we are ready. That is the rhythm of strength. That is the flow of life. That is the daily bread. So today, I challenge you. Release the burden of tomorrow. Stop exhausting yourself, chasing what is not yet yours. Receive today's strength as a gift, as power, as fuel for your journey. Say it together. Today, I have enough. Today, I have the courage to rise. Today, I have the clarity to choose wisely. Today, I walk in strength, focus, and freedom. Daily bread is not just about survival. It is about thriving, about fighting, about living fully. And once you embrace daily strength, you are unstoppable. Once you trust the flow of life, you are fearless. Once you act with clarity in the present, the past cannot bind you, and the future cannot intimidate you. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is power. Listen closely. Most people misunderstand forgiveness. They think it is a gift for the other person. They think it is mercy granted to those who have wronged them. No, forgiveness is not for them. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is the weapon that frees the fighter within. Until you forgive, you're chained. Until you release, you are captive. Until you let go, you carry the weight of their actions, and it slows your journey, it blunts your power, it clouds your vision. Think about it. Who do you still hold resentment toward? Who do you still replay in your mind, over and over, like a broken record? Who still occupies your thoughts, your energy, your heart? That person, that moment, that betrayal, it does not control them anymore. It controls you. Every ounce of anger, bitterness, and resentment is a chain around your spirit. Every grudge is a weight on your shoulders. Every refusal to release is a theft of your freedom. And here's the truth. You are stronger than your pain. You are greater than their wrongs. You are capable of walking free. Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness is the sword. Forgiveness is the shield. When you forgive, you disarm your oppressor, even if they never apologize. When you forgive, you release yourself from the past. When you forgive, you clear space for growth, for strength, for victory. It is not easy. It is not simple. It is a battle, sometimes the hardest battle of all. But every warrior knows this truth. The battlefield is not the fiercest enemies, are often the thoughts you carry in your own mind. Zephyros. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It does not mean condoning. It does not mean returning to them or allowing harm again. Letting go means, I release the power of your actions over me. I reclaim my energy. I reclaim my peace. I reclaim my life. Say it with me. I am free from the chains of resentment. I am stronger than my anger. I am victorious over the past. Notice the weight lift from your chest. Notice the calm that begins to spread through your mind. Notice the courage that rises from the ashes of pain. Forgiveness is not a one-time act. It is a daily discipline. Every morning, you may face memories that seek to drag you back. Every day, the world may test your resolve. Every day, you are called to rise above bitterness and choose freedom instead. And each time you forgive, each time you release, each time you choose strength over pain, you grow in power. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are no longer a hostage of anger. You are no longer trapped in the prison of resentment. You are a warrior of freedom. And here's the extraordinary truth. Forgiveness does not only benefit you, it touches everyone around you. When you forgive, you set a standard for love, for courage, for integrity. When you release, others are inspired to release. When you rise, you lift others with you. Forgiveness is contagious. Forgiveness is transformational. Forgiveness is the weapon that changes the battlefield. So today, I call on you. Look within and identify the shape you carry, and release the chains that bind your spirit. Forgive yourself for the mistakes you have held on to. Forgive those who have wronged you, not for them, but for your liberation. Say it together. I forgive, I release, I rise. I reclaim my energy, my courage, my peace. I am free. I am strong. I am unstoppable. Remember, The true warrior fights not only with fists but with a heart unchained. The true warrior conquers not only enemies but the bitterness within. The true warrior rises, victorious, liberated, empowered. Life is a battlefield. Every day, every hour, every moment, you are tested. Temptation does not always arrive as an obvious enemy. It does not always come wrapped in shadows and threats. It can appear in the most attractive forms: comfort, distraction, shortcuts, or desires that seem innocent but carry hidden chains. And the question is this: will you be ready when temptation appears? Will you stumble under its weight? Or will you stand firm and rise stronger? Temptation is subtle. It whispers softly. It seduces with promises. It appeals to fear, pride, or desire. The strongest warriors fall not because the enemy is stronger than they are. They fall because they were unaware, unprepared, and reactive. Temptation is not the enemy itself. It is a test of awareness, discipline, and strength. And the moment we act without vigilance, we surrender power we never realized we possessed. Here's the key: waiting for temptation to strike is a losing strategy. The warrior does not wait for battle to prepare. The warrior does not wait for storms to arrive to seek shelter. The warrior trains daily, sharpens weapons, and strengthens the spirit before the enemy appears. This is proactive strength. This is conscious vigilance. This is choosing to rise every day ready, aware, and unshakable. Ask yourself, what are the areas in my life where I am weak? Where do distractions or desires threaten to take control? How can I prepare now, before the storm comes, to stand firm? Vigilance is not paranoia. Vigilance is awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of your impulses, awareness of the influences that enter your life. The moment you recognize potential threats, the moment you spot the hidden traps, you reclaim control. You step into mastery. You step into freedom. And when temptation arrives, you meet it not with panic or regret, but with courage, clarity, and unwavering strength. No warrior fights alone. No leader stands without allies. No journey succeeds without support. Temptation can isolate. Temptation can divide. Temptation can convince you that you are powerless. But when you walk with others, when you build connections rooted in vigilance and shared strength, temptation loses its power. Together, we remind each other. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Stay aligned. Stay strong. Guarding against temptation is a daily practice. It is a commitment. It is a posture of the mind and spirit. Each day, you must review your weaknesses, strengthen your defenses, rehearse courage, declare victory over distractions before they arrive. Because life does not wait. Temptation does not schedule its arrival. The battle comes suddenly, and only those prepared will triumph. So today, we rise and declare, I am alert, I am aware, I am ready. No distraction will sway me, no fear will break me. I am a warrior of clarity, discipline, and strength. I stand unshaken in the face of temptation. Remember, my friends, the strongest power is proactive preparation. The strongest victory is preventing defeat before it comes. The strongest warrior is vigilant, disciplined, and unyielding. And so, as we continue our journey, we rise not only as survivors, but as champions of our destiny, fully prepared to face whatever challenges the world may send. Everything we have discussed, belonging to the source, honoring the sacredness of the name, building the kingdom within, surrendering our will, embracing daily strength, wielding forgiveness, standing vigilant against temptation. It all leads to this. The kingdom, the power, the glory. These are not just words. These are not just abstract ideas. These are living realities that shape the trajectory of your life, the quality of your spirit, and the impact of your actions. First, the kingdom. The kingdom is not somewhere far away. It is not reserved for the chosen few. It is inside you. Every choice you make to rise above fear, every act of courage, honesty, and integrity, every time you align with the higher order instead of your ego, that is your kingdom. A kingdom of strength, a kingdom of peace, a kingdom of vision and purpose. And here is the key. No one can take it from you. It is not dependent on circumstances, approval, or fortune. It is yours the moment you claim it, the moment you build it, the moment you stand in it. Say it aloud. My kingdom is unshakable. My kingdom is alive within me. My kingdom triumphs over chaos. Next, the power. Power is not domination. Power is not force. Power is the energy to create, to rise, to transform, to overcome. Power flows to those who are disciplined. Power flows to those who have surrendered wisely. Power flows to those who act with clarity and courage. The power is in your choices. The power is in your actions. The power is in the daily practice of rising stronger than yesterday. Say it. I am empowered. I am unstoppable. I am a force of life and victory. I claim the strength within me, and I will wield it wisely. Finally, the glory. Glory is not applause. Glory is not recognition. Glory is the expression of a life lived fully, aligned with purpose and integrity. Glory is in the smile of a heart free from resentment. Glory is in the courage to face storms without fear. Glory is in the victories no one sees, the quiet triumphs of character, strength, and faith in the unseen order. The glory is yours when you choose the higher path. The glory is yours when you forgive, rise, and align daily. The glory is yours when you shine, even in darkness. Say it with me. I walk in glory. I rise in glory. I live in glory. My life reflects strength, courage, and triumph. Now, let us bring it all together. The kingdom is alive within me. The power flows through me. The glory radiates from me. Repeat it until your heart believes it. Repeat it until your spirit rises. Repeat it until every fear, every doubt, and every limitation bows down. This is your life. This is your battlefield. This is your victory. No storm can shake you. No obstacle can stop you. No setback can defeat you. Because you are connected to the source. Because you honor the sacredness of your actions. Because you build the kingdom within. Because you align with the higher order. Because you live in daily strength. Because you forgive and release. Because you stand vigilant against temptation. Now rise, my friends. Rise in your identity. Rise in your strength. Rise in your courage. Walk boldly into life, knowing you are a child of infinite power. You are a warrior of freedom and clarity. You are the embodiment of victory. You are the kingdom, the power, and the glory, here, now, and forever. Say it one last time with your whole being. I am kingdom. I am power. I am glory. I rise. I overcome. I triumph. I live fully, fearlessly, and victoriously.
Go forth, my friends, and live the truth of these words every day. Not tomorrow, not someday, today, now.
Victory is yours. Strength is yours. Freedom is yours. Rise and claim it.